Hey guys, it's your third video lesson. We're going to be learning about the atomic structure. What you're going to get out of this lesson, hopefully, are four things. The first one is what an atom looks like. You have to know how many protons, neutrons, how many rings, and how to draw it. You're going to have to get this information off your periodic table, so I'm going to show you how to easily do that. You're going to look at the proper representation of electrons in an element. It's really important to understand how the electrons are acting because it's going to help us in the next lesson. And then to go along with that, we're going to try and go through a brief overview of electron configuration. Because again, we want to know what the electrons are doing. Okay, so first, let's do an example. So I'm going to use oxygen. What you need to be able to do is get information off of the block on the periodic table to then help you draw it. Okay, so let's see if I can do this. So, your atomic number is going to be the number that doesn't have decimals. So atomic number of oxygen is going to be 8. Okay, your atomic mass is going to be the one that has decimals. So oxygen is 16.00. Your protons is equal to your number of your atomic number. So oxygen has 8 protons. Your electrons is equal to the atomic number. So you have 8 electrons. And your neutrons, if you have trouble remembering how to do neutrons, I have a little acronym. Okay, it's called MAN. And it stands for this. This is going to stand for mass, from your atomic mass. We're going to subtract your atomic number, and that's going to equal the number of neutrons. Okay, so neutrons is mass minus atomic number. So 16 minus 8 is 8. So oxygen also has 8 neutrons. Okay, to figure out your rings, you're just going to do your math. If you'd rather draw first and then fill it in later, it's completely up to you. Okay, I know the rule for your rings is that it's 2, 8, 18. So since oxygen only has 8, 2 is going to go in the first, which leaves 6 more in the second. So I only need 2 rings for oxygen. Okay, so now we're going to draw what this oxygen would look like. Okay, you always want to start with your nucleus, and your nucleus is just your center circle. And in your nucleus goes your protons and your neutrons, and oxygen has 8 of each. And then I'm going to go ahead and start drawing my electron rings. First one, and your first one can hold 2 electrons. Okay, so far I have 2. That means I need 6 more, which means I need a second ring and 6 more electrons. Notice they don't pair up until they have to. Okay, and that's how you would get information off the periodic table and then draw your atom. It's really simple. So what I need you to do now is go ahead and stop or pause the video and try and do phosphorus by yourself, and then start it back up again and check your work with mine. Okay, if you did it correctly, your paper should look like mine. All information off the periodic table. I got my atomic mass, rounding it to 31. 31 minus 15 is going to get me 16 neutrons. 2, 8, and then 5 in my last ring, noticing they don't pair unless they have to. I also want to point out there's 3 acceptable ways to represent electrons. You can do E's like I do. You can draw circles with negatives in them since electrons are negatively charged. Or some people just like to put a dot, a colored dot in there. either any of those three ways is acceptable. It's whatever you like. Okay, why don't you go ahead and pause the video again and answer some questions. Okay, now that you made it this far, I have some shortcuts to show you that'll make your life a little bit easier. The first shortcut I want to show you is there's an easier way of identifying how many rings are in an element or in an atom. So the number of rings is directly equal to the period number on the periodic table. Okay, and your period number is a row. So if you're looking at your periodic table, what's going across?